This is the week some of the biggest districts in our area head back to school. We've got you covered with start times and last-minute tips on stretching your dollar to get any last-minute supplies your kids might need. The battle is on to stop two devastating wildfires from destroying communities on our western slope. How one couple is helping to house and shelter some of those firefighters who have worked tirelessly to keep the flames at bay. And breaking news this morning at 8:30, we are keeping tabs on a crash that's blocking westbound I-270. Now, this is between US 6 and Brighton Boulevard in Commerce City. Just minutes ago, we learned that this involved a possible wrong-way driver. Drivers in both cars were taken to the hospital. We're working to learn how they're doing this morning. Today's top stories are coming up in just a couple minutes, but we've got to fill you in on some local fire restrictions thanks to the hot and dry conditions impacting the Denver area. Good morning, I'm Lauren Scafidi. Thanks for joining us at 8 o'clock. Multiple metro counties have some kind of burn ban in place right now. Jefferson, Douglas, and Arapahoe counties have all issued stage 1 fire restrictions. So that means, among other things, no open fires unless you've got a fire pit, no smoking outside of a vehicle unless you're in an area without vegetation, and no outdoor grilling. Both Arvada Fire and the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office responded to grass fires in the past week alone.
In Colorado, we really don't have a fire season anymore. It's a fire year. We definitely have periods where that fire risk is heightened, and we're just starting to enter into that.
Despite these smoking and grilling restrictions in nearby areas, the Carnation Festival is still holding its fireworks show over in Wheat Ridge. That's because stage 1 restrictions for things like professional shows. Officials say they're keeping an eye on things and they'll tighten those restrictions if they have to. We'll talk more about the wildfires burning on the western slope in just a minute, but first, let's get a check of today's forecast with Jaden Knowles because we've got some storm chances today, Jaden.
Yeah, that's right, Lauren. Mainly this afternoon, we're talking about another round of storms that has the potential of being severe. We did see some severe storms yesterday, or should I say last night, around the southeastern portions of the state. Baseball-sized hail is what we saw, but overall, I have more details about that here shortly. Current temperatures as you're heading out the door, nice and comfortable. Thanks to that cold front we saw yesterday. We're currently in the low 60s, and across the entire state, the low 60s towards the eastern plains, 50s and 60s in the high country, and then the low 70s towards the western slope. It's actually good news on the western slope today. First day in the last 6 days, or should I say 7 days now, that we don't have a red flag warning across the state. So that's some good news there. Higher humidity values and also cooler temperatures. But looking at live radar, there's some isolated showers from those storms that we saw last night. That's finally moving through parts of Lyman, but overall, I don't have a lot of rain this morning. That's going to come this afternoon, but today's high, 77 degrees. Yeah, that's a difference for a change. Nice and cool, but overall, we will be tracking those showers and thunderstorm chances this afternoon. I'll tell you the timing and the impacts in my full forecast. Lauren?
Thank you so much, Jaden. To western Colorado and the around-the-clock fight to keep wildfires from destroying communities on our western slope. Let's remind you what we're dealing with here. So there is the Lee fire, that's the larger red area on the map on the left, and then there's the Elk fire, that's that red area right there on the right. Combined, they've burned more than 100,000 acres. For context, that's bigger than the city and county of Denver. There's concern that the Lee fire will expand south and east. People who are living in those areas have been advised to evacuate. The Rifle Correctional Center is southeast of the Lee fire and it's in an evacuation zone. As a result, the Department of Corrections had to move 179 inmates plus staff. They're being transferred to secure facilities away from the fires. So far, fire crews have successfully kept those two fires from moving north toward the town of Meeker. It's home to a few thousand people. It's also the county seat for Rio Blanco County. Firefighters say they've put resources in place to protect private residences and other high-value assets. They're concerned that things could shift suddenly because of the wind. The last week has been a whirlwind of emotions for people living in Meeker, not knowing if they should stay or if they should go. One couple did stay, and they're now housing some of the firefighters protecting their town. Here's 9 News reporter Shalima Maharaj.
I spoke to Michelle Morgan, who is the owner of Elk Mountain Inn, and her husband, Rigas Halandras, who is a local businessman. Right now, their motel is at maximum capacity, and that's because fire crews from across Colorado have been staying with them. Now, the town was on pre-evacuation notice earlier this week, so a lot of people had their bags packed and ready to go if officials gave the order. There was a lot of uncertainty at the time, so there were some people who self-evacuated, and some of the staff at the motel left town as well. So Michelle stepped in to clean and prep rooms for first responders. Now the smoke has been thick and acrid, making it hard to breathe at times. But Michelle and Regis are doing everything they can to help. And that includes taking in a couple of motorcyclists who were trying to get home one night.
They had zero idea there was a fire in the area. So they come into town and I was cleaning rooms, and this was later at night, and they come through the drive and they see me and they stop and they're like, "Hey, do you work here? Do you have any rooms?" And I'm like, "No, I'm completely full." And so I said, "I mean, all we have is 2 guest rooms." And he just, not even a hesitation, said, "We'll take it." And I said, "Okay, let's go to the house."
Michelle and Regis told me while some people might be quick to praise them for their compassion and generosity, it's just what you do when someone needs help. Shalima Maharaj, 9 News.
These are the final days of summer vacation for a lot of kids before heading back to the classroom this week. Tomorrow, Cherry Creek and Bennett get back. Adams and Clear Creek start on Tuesday. Bowler Valley, St. Vrain, and Dougco all start on Wednesday, August 13th. And then on the 14th, Sheridan starts back up. Finally, on Friday the 15th, Englewood gets back. Yesterday, Jefferson County held its back-to-school bash over at Jeffco Stadium. This looks like a great time. Hey, our Jaden Knowles was even there. The event featured activities, music, and food trucks. There were also community partners like Jeffco Head Start, the Public Library, and Outdoor Lab. How fun is that? This weekend, the Nuggets partnered with Denver Police to give out some much-needed school supplies to hundreds of families across the city. This comes as DPS students are set to head back to class a week from Monday. More than 2,200 backpacks were handed out at 6 different schools around Denver. They were filled with everything like pencils, markers, glue, and notebooks. Not only did kids get their bags, but this is pretty neat. Some even got some fresh back-to-school haircuts.
Many of us grew up in these neighborhoods and went to these schools ourselves. So to see these kids have the school supplies that they need, the parents being able to have the kids get started on the right foot is really important, and it means a lot to us.
A reminder, the 9 News School Supply Fundraiser is happening right now. We're partnering with the United Way in Colorado to raise money for all of the school essentials that kids need. Scan this QR code right here to give a donation to help kids get a head start this school year. We've got more information on 9news.com.